Why are you so gloomy?
Everything is fine.
Will you live?
Yes.
But this is not certain. Or alive?
Alive.
Alive. It is good or bad?
Good.
Fine. I need to take off my cap. Or bad?
What?
Well, that you're alive, maybe it's bad.
Most likely good.
More likely. Ready?
Yes.
For what?
To answer the questions.
To answer the questions.
Yes.
Well, let's answer the questions. Wife, children, dogs, sheep, vehicles, plants, what do you have?
Wife and daughter.
Wife, daughter. How old is your daughter?
Tomorrow it will be a year.
Father, mother there?
Mom and dad are there.
What does the mother do and what does the father do?
Mom doesn't work and dad is at a construction site.
At a construction site. What does your wife do?
My wife is on maternity leave. She used
In
to work at Gazprom.
Was gas free?
Don't know.
Huh?
Don't know.
Well, it's your house.
I had it.
Free, right?
No, we paid.
Why? Don't be nervous. Your leg is shaking. Aren't you nervous?
No, everything is fine.
I saw that everyone who works at Gazprom receives a free gas. No?
Not in our case.
Why this not your case? Was there
Yes.
even a discount?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I don't know, that's just what I think. And what's the discount?
I think 30% if I'm not mistaken.
For Gazprom employees, a 30% discount on consumption.
Yes.
Well, it's a normal story. Did I turn on the video camera or not? So, the child will be 1 year old in how many days?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, so this will be a cool call, right? Maybe. Well, they haven't answered anything yet. How is the situation in Chechnya?
Not very good.
What does it mean?
Well, mobilization is in full swing.
What is the general population in Chechnya?
If memory serves, then 1,200,000.
A million.
1,300,000, 1,200,000.
1,300,000. What does bad mobilization situation mean?
Well, for every little thing, the authorities begin repression.
For example, why are they punished? Make sure you understand. I understand and know much more than you think about Chechnya, about Grozny. Oh, this Special Forces Institute, have you been there?
No.
Well, do you know what I'm talking about?
Special Forces? No, I wasn't. I did my training here.
It's clear. Well, we'll get to that. I'm interested in how ordinary Chechens live. Here you are, an ordinary person. What is your profession?
None. I didn't study after school.
How many school classes do you have?
9.
Why didn't you study further?
There was no money.
How can there be no money, seeing how Kadyrov spends this money buying a... Stop. Let's do it differently. Did you really have no money to study?
Yes.
What about work?
Well, I worked at different jobs. There was only enough money for clothes and food.
How do your friends and acquaintances live?
Some are good, some are bad.
Those who live well, why do they live well? Connections?
Parents are well off.
What do their parents do?
I don't know, honestly.
So they have cars?
Yes.
That is, everything is fine with you and you are rich only if your parents are rich, and if they are simple, then you are poor.
Well, this is my social circle.
Look, I have a problem. I really know more than you about Chechnya because my program works, but people are interested. If I tell what I know, they will simply tell me that I'm lying. Do you understand, right? That's how it works. But if a Chechen person tells this, then I think people will be interested. By the way, on an interesting note, how long have you known me? This is very...
Almost a year.
Tell me how you first found out about me. This was a year ago.
Well, I was on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And I came across the first video with a captured
What
Russian.
was the prisoner's name? Do you remember?
No.
Well, I don't remember either.
I watched as his parents threatened you, the father of the prisoner, in my opinion, threatened you.
There were too many interviews.
He said he would found you.
Oh, that's it. I remember it. In some of a village.
Yes,
Former
yes.
cop, right?
Yes.
Former cop, where are you? You don't need to look for me. I'm here. And you're dying there in your village. And what?
Well, after that I started watching.
How many interviews have you watched?
A lot.
Unfortunately, I watched a lot too. Well, what, 10 interviews or so?
No, more.
Well, how much?
Well, 20, 30 maximum, about that.
30 pieces. Was it interesting?
Yes.
Did you learn anything new?
No.
Why did you watch them then if you didn't learn anything new for yourself?
I was just interested to watch. Well, I didn't think that I would ever find myself in the place of a prisoner.
Speak up, please. I asked, did you learn anything new? This is, in fact, now you can evaluate me, my work, Vova's work, the work of our team. In particular, I and Vova are there in an interview. We talk about what is really happening.
Yes.
About what kind of war this is. Was this new to you or did you know this?
New.
How did you know this? The truth?
Well, I watched. All information is available on the internet.
Is everything on the internet? Have you tried to answer the question for yourself? Are there any Nazis or Banderitas
There's no
here?
one.
Before you were captured, did you already know this or not? When were you still at home?
Well, before and after, one might say 50-50.
50-50. You knew before captivity that there were no Nazis, but in captivity
Yes.
this was confirmed. Do we need to record these interviews?
Yes, they help you get home to your family.
How else do our interviews help other people?
Well, for example,
No, well, relax, wait, now I'll smoke and then you. Here you see is an unique case, a Chechen who watched our interviews a year ago. Tell me, why didn't you like it?
don't know.
Was it scary?
Yes.
You understand, I don't know whether you liked it or not, but I know the answer. And I know that you say that you were scared of, but if someone else would find out, what will happen if they find out that you are watching my interviews?
Well, nothing will happen to me for watching you. And if there are many more videos that they don't recommend. They don't advise us to watch at all.
What kind of videos are these and why is this so?
Well, for example, there are people who are abroad and say bad things about our President Kadyrov.
Who is this, for example? I'll tell you honestly, I don't have time to watch YouTube.
Well, I know only one. This is Tumso Abdurrahmanov. he, well, how do I say this?
He is in exile somewhere in Europe
Yes.
and criticizes Ramzanchik.
Yes.
Yeah, well. How do they say you can't watch it?
Well, no one says directly. Well, find out through someone.
Like, are you afraid that they are monitoring what people doing on the internet?
Yes.
And what can you get for that?
Well, I can't say specifically what could happen to them, because I haven't encountered it.
You haven't encountered it. Does all this pathos, beauty, and coolness of Grozny correspond to reality, to the standard of living of people?
That is what is meant is it possible to live there?
No, the fact that you can live there is understandable. I mean, is there such coolness there, greatness,
Not understand.
the greatness of Grozny? The fact that it is all so beautiful and handsome, a lot of expensive glass and marble, does all this luxury correspond to your standard of living?
Not.
Why?
Well, why is such beauty needed if people die?
Why do people die?
Well, in general. Well, let's say if we take the city of Grozny, then Grozny is only for tourists. Well, I guess the people who live there don't really like it that much.
Why? Well, I don't know. I don't have the opportunity to talk to the Chechens. Also, I communicate with them a lot. When we communicate, we talk about other topics.
I don't have a specific answer to this question.
Your estimate. If we take 1,200,000 people, let's clarify this number. By the way, I found out a long time ago the population of Chechnya. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Population of Chechnya, 1 in 4 million in 2016. 1 in 5 million, 1 in 5 million in 2024. Can you roughly say, taking into account the fact that you are local, out of this 1,550,000, does many people live well enough?
Many, yes.
What is this connected with? Wait, please, I'll ask you differently. We're in vain appealing to inaccurate data. A lot or not a lot is very blurry. Tell me, does half of the population of Chechnya live well or poorly?
Well, more than half.
How do they live?
Fine.
Lives well. Well, so what are you saying, that everything is bad in Chechnya?
I'm not saying it's bad. Some people have a bad life, some people have a good life.
It's clear. You started talking about how any crime is punished terribly. What's happening?
Well, for now, at the moment, they can send mails to war in Ukraine.
Male gender.
They can send it to
For
Ukraine.
what, for example?
Well, for a mistake.
For a mistake? What are you talking about? How did you end up in the war? For 22 years, in theory, you couldn't be mobilized. You could only become a contract soldier.
Well, I got into fight. With
Who did you fight
With-
with?
RRT,
What is RRT?
Rapid Response Team.
You don't look like a brawler. Why did you fight with them?
Not with them, but with one of them I got into a fight. Well, that is, he hurt my mother and my mind was blown away. Then we got into a fight, then they took me to the nearest department.
Let's discuss this in a little more detail. What do you mean he hurt your mom? Was he in civilian clothes
No,
or
he
in
was
uniform?
in uniform. I don't even remember. I don't remember, to be honest.
When was this?
In January of this year.
In January of this year.
Somewhere at the end of January.
End of January this year. What do you mean he hurt your mom? Pushed or called?
Well, I can't say the word that he said to me. Well, that's a bad word.
In short, did he
Yes.
insult her? Why did this happen?
To be honest, I don't remember why this happened.
Were you sober?
Yes, I'm always sober. I don't use anything. In short, I was then sent to the nearest department and I sat there
You
for a
got
month.
into a fight, right?
Yes.
Who beat whom? Say it like a man. Did he beat you or did you beat him?
Well, he beat me, then I beat him, and then they tied me up.
To be honest, who beat whom more? You or him?
Most likely he.
Did he beat you more? Yes? Because he was probably prepared. Well, he's from the rapid response team. They took you to
They
the
took me
department.
to the
What happened in
department.
the department?
Well, they beat me for a month.
Didn't understand.
Well, they kept me there in the basement for a month. They beat me.
Why were you kept?
I don't know, because of the fight. For raising my hand against an employee during execution.
Where was this?
In the city of Kurchaloi.
Which one?
Kurchaloi,
Is it far from Grozny?
36 kilometers.
In short, it's stupidly Grozny,
Yes.
like on the outskirts of Grozny. Did your family know you were there?
No.
Like were you kidnapped?
Well, I won't say that it was stolen. They took me away.
Did you have a phone?
Yes. Then after 2 or 3 weeks, I don't remember exactly, I called home and say that everything is fine, and that's it.
You weren't allowed to say anything else?
Yes.
How were you beaten? Every day or what? Why keep you? I don't understand really. Why this?
Well, because I raised my hand
Well, you
against an
raised your
employee.
hand. A criminal case should be opened against you and you should be jailed in theory. Or is that not the case?
It is so, but things turned out differently for me.
How?
Well, they told me either... Well, should I say how it is?
Well, I'm like for the truth.
Yes.
You can come up with whatever you want, but I won't check it.
In short, they told me that I would either sit in the basement for a year or... Well, in short, they would beat and torture me for a whole year, or I would sign a contract and go fight in Ukraine.
Were you alone there?
Yes.
Alone in the basement?
Yes.
And how many people beat you? What did they
One.
hit you with? One? Is this the one you
No.
fought with? Was it someone else?
There was only one beats, but there were 3 people in the basement.
You and 2 others.
3.
3 other are RT officers.
Yes.
What is their rank? Officers, soldiers, do you know?
Don't know. Some regulars.
Well, were you fed? Was there a toilet?
Yes. They feed me.
Are they all bearded so?
Yes.
Do you remember their names? Or they didn't tell you?
They didn't introduce themselves.
Were they wearing masks?
No.
What did you sleep on?
On the floor.
Without a bed, without anything?
Well, this one...
Mattress.
There was the mattress.
Toilet, did they take you to the toilet?
They took me to the toilet.
How many times a day did you feed?
3 times. Morning, lunch, evening.
How do they beat you?
With batons, electric shock.
Electric shock? How did they shock you?
Well, they tied it there on the fingers. What's it called? Don't know. Anyway, there he was spinning there for about 10 seconds.
And you got an electric shock at the time?
Yes.
Fuck it. I'll ask the question again because I want to understand. Why did they do this? What did they want to achieve with this?
Well, they wanted, to get me to sign the
Did
contract.
they tell you this all the time, every day?
No, not every day. They said later. They said it at the end.